So I've been to Japan recently.
You've been to Japan? You haven't mentioned.
I've mentioned it non-stop and you are mocking me for this. I went to play Dragon Quest XI, Echoes of an Elusive Age. Didn't actually play it, but got to see loads of it and got to interview one of the series' creator, Yuji Horii, which we will be doing a video with later on in a few weeks' time, which you can look forward to on GameSpot.com and YouTube.com/GameSpot.
What a plug. Very good, very good.
In the meantime, I'm going to talk to you briefly about this game.
Right.
You don't have a lot of familiarity with Dragon Quest, but you are a JRPG and RPG fan.
Yes, I am. So I play a lot of Japanese games. But for some reason, I never quite made the leap and got into Dragon Quest. I think part of it is because you said this is what, 11?
Yeah.
That to me feels like a commitment to a series that I have no prior knowledge of, and it feels like I can't just jump in here.
That's the thing. You can.
Well, they need to think about their naming.
Yeah, it's really interesting because each one is kind of like standalone in a lot of ways. There's themes that run through them, and there's ideas and concepts and characters that appear in each one, kind of like Final Fantasy.
I was going to say, so you're basically like a Final Fantasy.
This was Enix's Final Fantasy before they merged with Square. And it's basically the granddaddy of JRPGs. So like the first thing you notice is it looks stunning and it's a much bigger world. So they've gone with a new engine and that's allowed them to create these massive environments. And although these environments are big and there's a larger open world, they're interconnected environments. So you have these big spaces, but you transition between environments as you kind of progress through the story.
Yes.
And there's about 88 of them. And they're
88?
all, yeah, there's a lot of them. And eventually you have the freedom to go in between them as you please. What's new for this game is they've introduced a free camera mode.
Okay.
So these games are traditionally turn-based, and this game is like that. But you've got the option to switch it to a free cam mode for people who like a little more active, kind of feel to their battle.
Okay, well, I do like that. They've just done that recently with like Ni no Kuni.
Yeah, exactly. It's very similar to Ni no Kuni in that respect. So it's like if you like to control the camera, you still play. It plays out like a turn-based battle.
I like to have control over every aspect of my game.
What's great about that is though, you get that feeling of being actively involved, but you also get to like look at the enemies. But you get to see the classes, and they look better than ever. Another new big thing for this version of the game is the exploration, which you just saw there.
Yes.
There's a lot more verticality to the world now, and and to kind of like meet that, they've introduced things like climbing and running and sprinting and that kind of stuff. So it's easier to explore worlds. So you play as this character who's the archetypal hero. It's a very classical Japanese story with this character. It's your 16th birthday. You've just left a little, southern town in the mountains, and you realize that you are the reincarnation of a hero. Like
I love when I realize that I'm the reincarnation of a hero.
I'm the hero. And everyone goes, yo, you're the hero.
At 16.
Yes.
I could barely dress myself at 16.
So your first act is to go to meet the king and figure out what that means for you. So there is still kind of like a, how do I deal with this?
Yeah.
And the king kind of like, when you meet him, King Carnelian, and his boy,
Kardashian.
and his boy with the angry eyebrows and sword there. He kind of like welcomes you with open arms. He confirms that you have the birthmark, because every hero has the birthmark to show that you're the hero, and then immediately turns on you. And that's where your journey begins. The king's reasoning is just like light is intertwined with dark, the hero is intertwined with the dread lord of darkness or whatever.
Is just classic JRPG fare.
And it's the same kind of story that you get always in these types of games, and specifically in Dragon Quest.
Yeah.
But that's also just kind of like the foundation for the exploration and the characters you meet along the way.
Okay.
So following this, like you get chucked in a jail, and you kind of break out, and then you go on your journey, and along that journey you find different people to kind of meet up with, and take on this journey with you, and ultimately dispel evil and become the savior of the hero of the world and all that. Savior of the hero of the world of the greatness.
It's a classic hero's journey.
Exactly. So one of the other big things that you'll see introduced in this game is they've made a bunch of tweaks that makes it a little more palatable for Westerners.
Right.
They've introduced that verticality and all that stuff.
When you say verticality, when you climb, is it like Zelda climbing, or is it like...
No, it's
you
a little more...
specific places you can climb?
There's very specific places you can climb. And in the demo that we had, there was like... you walk around town and you get that thing where it's ambient dialogue, and then there's certain characters who will give you side quests. Another thing that they do to encourage that is they've introduced a first-person view mode. But yeah, so it's very much, this game's been out for a while in Japan, and like this is the Western version of it, so they've made it a little more palatable by doing things like that. They've changed the menus, so it's not like when you see it pop up, it looks like it's written on a scroll, and it's got like, whereas in Japan it's the classic black on white text. So that's a big part of that.
And it's localized.
Yeah, localized, fully like localized. It's got full cutscenes. And it's got full lip syncing, which is a big deal
that is
for
a
this.
big deal.
Yeah, it is. And
what
I'm excited about is the reason you play these games is kind of like Ni no Kuni. It's so charming. The world is so charming.
So colourful.
This is a great year like for JRPGs as a whole. And it's been a great year, 2-3 years for JRPGs between Final Fantasy, Ni no Kuni just come out,
Persona.
Nier, Persona. And I think a lot of people are going to be wanting more, and this is a good opportunity to play one of the best series of all time when it comes to JRPGs. It's an incredibly beloved series. Chances are you may not have checked it out because, like with you, Lucy, it's the 11th one, so that scares you. And also,
it absolutely shouldn't. I mean,
but
it is just this weird barrier to entry. But knowing now that it's Final Fantasy-esque and that it's not really, there are thematic connections and stuff, it makes it a lot more palatable. Be interested to see how well Square managed to communicate that to people.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't so far because it's got an 11 on it. But I feel like that's what this is a preview of the game, obviously, so we're yet to deliver our verdict on it. But like from what I've seen, it seems like a great jumping on point. It's got, we briefly touched on it, but it's got like loads of characters. It doesn't have a job system anymore, but you have these unique characters that can be specialized. There's skill trees and a very active style of battle. It's beautiful, charming. I highly encourage people to keep an eye on it at least, especially if you like JRPGs. My dream is that a lot of people see this game, play it and enjoy it if it's good, and then go back and play through the other games because they are fantastic. There's some great portable ones, there's some great console ones.
They made like a Minecraft-esque one.
Yeah, Builders is really, really fun and it's out on Switch, so check that out as well. But yeah, that's our brief but very intense.
Brief and intense is what we aim for here on GameSpot.com.
We deliver our previews like we're the Gilmore Girls.
Are we the Gilmore Girls of gaming?
Game journalists. That's us. Thank you for watching this video. Keep your eyes on GameSpot.com and YouTube.com/GameSpot, where we'll have more coverage of Dragon Quest, including that feature, as well as every other game, because we're a video game website, boys. In the meantime, you can find us on Twitter. I'm at Tamoor H.
I'm at Lucy James Games, although I'm going to change my Twitter handle to some sort of Gilmore Girls related reference now.
And we'll see you next time. Play some Dragon Quest.
Bye.